Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Nagasaki Outlaw in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing is going to be coming to the podium very soon in Grand Theft Auto Online, so I figured it's time to customize it. Let's hop right into this thing and we will start this customization. Alright guys, so starting off we're going to go for the armor. We're going to upgrade that all the way, as well as the brakes and the engine. Next up we got the headlights. We're going to go xenon, of course. We could put underglow on this thing, but I don't really think that this thing needs underglow, so we're just not going to do that. The livery, we can add, different camos to this thing. Okay, that's interesting. I've never customized this thing before, so this is all new to me. So it's basically got all the regular camos that you could put on like any car. So that's, that's cool. I'm honestly thinking I kind of want to put on the nature reserve camo. I do like that a lot, so I'm thinking... maybe we'll do that. Hold on, let's do the rest of the thing first and then we'll come back to it. The plate, we're gonna go yellow and black, of course. For the respray, I think I want to go for a matte on this car, and I think I want to go for like a desert, sort of like desert tan, like matte desert tan. I think that looks really good. For the secondary color, that does, okay, so that does all the cage and stuff like that, so maybe we should go for like a gray. I think that looks pretty good. I think it matches up pretty well with the rest of the car. Yeah, I like how that looks. So we're going to go for that. Let's go back to the livery and see how the nature reserve camo looks. It does look pretty cool. At the same time, I feel like it looks good without it though. So I actually think we're just going to leave it off. We got the transmission up next. We're going to upgrade that all the way. For the turbo as well, of course. And for the wheels, we are definitely going to go for some off-roads on this thing. I think I want to go for the concave rally master. That's usually what I go for, so let's put those on. And to match up with the rest of the thing, maybe we can match it in a desert tan. Yeah, we can. Let's do it. That looks really good. Sweet. Okay, we can add a tire design to it if we want to. Honestly, I feel like it looks better without it, so we're just going to leave that off. We will put on bulletproof tires though, of course, and it doesn't have windows. And there's actually no customization that you can do to this thing, which is really surprising to me. I was expecting we were going to be able to change like the bull bar or something like that, or maybe the roof, but no, apparently this is all we can do to this thing. So I guess we're going to take it down to the ground and we're going to do a customization and review. Alright guys, let's see how this thing actually sounds. Sounds a little bit like a lawnmower. It doesn't sound all that great, to be honest. Off the line, it is pretty quick though, it feels like. Let's make sure. I think this thing is all-wheel drive. Yes, it is. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So it's all-wheel drive, which is a good thing for this. That's for sure. It feels very slidey. The tires are really, really thin, so I'm not honestly surprised that it feels like slidey. We're going to do a handling test up in the hills here, and then we're also going to do an off-road test after that. So I'm interested to see how this thing actually does, because I have heard some bad things about this car, I won't lie, but I guess I'll just have to wait and see, and I'll be the judge of it. Okay, it does have really good brakes. It does stop like super quickly, which is really nice. However, it does seem to be very light in the rear end of the car, that's for sure. When I braked there, the rear end came loose and actually hit a car there, so not super impressed with that. I mean, I get that it's supposed to be like basically a side-by-side, so I'll cut it some slack. So far on the twisty section, it actually is doing pretty alright. It definitely is very light. You can feel how light it is, which is definitely a big help for this thing. It actually can hold its own pretty well in the corners. I mean, I'm going, pedal to the metal right now, and it's handling everything I throw at it, and the back end is not actually sliding out too badly or anything. So I'm pretty impressed with the handling on road so far. So that's, it's got some good things going for it. That's for sure. It's actually not doing nearly as bad as I was expecting it to. So, props to the Nagasaki Outlaw. We're going to see how it does in the off-road section. So I'm actually just going to take this thing out to the canyon right now, and I will see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so we have just arrived at the canyon here, as you guys can see. And so far, this thing is handling things pretty well. We're only at the start of it, obviously, so we're gonna see how it does, you know, in a few minutes here once we get to the other end of the canyon. But as usual, I'm gonna go like full speed down this thing and see how the car actually behaves. So far, the Outlaw is really, really good. And let's take a right here and go across the bridge. I'm very impressed that the Outlaw was actually able to handle the downhill section there. Usually cars will completely flip off of that thing and actually just fly off into the water or, you know, close to it. So the Outlaw is doing remarkably well, I have to say. It's actually doing its job amazingly. I'm very impressed, actually. Really, guys, no complaints with the Outlaw here. I'm actually, you know, from my experience right now, I'm very impressed with this thing. I think this is a very, very good off-road vehicle, and honestly, it's not even that bad on the road. Obviously, it could be a lot faster. The acceleration's, you know, a bit weak, but it is an off-road, you know, side by side at the end of the day, so can't knock it too hard for that. I think it's a really good car, guys. I really do. Like, if you want something that you can just go and off-road in with, you know, one of your friends in the passenger seat, the Outlaw seems to be a very, very capable vehicle. If that's what you want to do, like, this thing can do it. Now let's see if it can actually make it up this rock. This is usually my challenge, to see how good an off-road vehicle is. And the Outlaw, of course, handles it very, very well. Honestly, guys, I have to say, I would recommend picking this thing up. This is going to be on the podium very soon in Grand Theft Auto Online, within the next couple months, I would say, for sure. So if you do want one of these, I would say hold out for the podium vehicle, or if you want to, buy this thing, and then when the podium vehicle comes out, go and try to win it. And if you do manage to win it, then you can sell the one that you paid for, and you have a Nagasaki Outlaw for virtually free, and you get your money back. So anyway, guys, I definitely would say, you know, when this thing gets on the podium, try and win it. If you can't wait that long, I would say it is, you know, worth a purchase if you can afford it. This thing does cost $1.2 million, or $930,000, I believe, with the trade price. So it is pretty steep, but for that price, you do get a pretty solid off-road vehicle. I wish it was a little bit cheaper. I do feel like this thing's not quite deserving of being worth 1.2 million, but you know, that's just how Rockstar is these days. That's how Grand Theft Auto is these days. So, you know, if you guys can afford it, I would definitely recommend picking it up. If you can win it from the podium, it's definitely a vehicle that you're going to want to hang on to, I would say. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the customization and the review today. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, leave a like, if not dislike. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.